So in this video today, we are going to discuss a TIA we discussed in ChatGPT. Okay. So in the ChatGPT, we have this how we are doing IAP. It is um, fragments are inserted in the baseline program. Impacts on the correspondence measured. Key difference: TA is prospective, more rigorous, and used often under FIDIC clauses. Okay, TIA. Impact is one of the symbol. Is also prospective method, often criticized for not reflecting actual progress, but still accepted in many COVID-related EOTs. So, what is the difference between TIA and IAP? IAP inserts a delay fragment into the baseline. It measures the final change. Impact inserts each delay fragment at the time it actually occurred into the as-built or updated schedule and measures the incremental impact. So what is how we are doing TIA? We insert the delay fragment into a contemporaneous updated program or at the time it is actually occurred and measures the incremental impact, while the IAP is inserts delay fragment into the baseline and finding the finish change. So TA is a prospective method. It works by taking the latest acceptable program update at the time of the event, and also insert the delay fragment. Why? So this ensures delay is measured against the project actual status at the time of impact. TAA does not award time for contractor cost slippages. So by inserting fragment in the updated program, contractors' delays are automatically built in and not compensated twice. So updated program includes contractor delays. Fragment represents new employer risk event only. TA shows incremental impact beyond the contractor's own delay. In contrast to IAP, it uses original baseline program and ignores what really happened on site. So to put in a simple way, it uses updated programs and it measures effect on on the context of project actual progress at that time. This way, contractor delays are already embedded in the program, and the TAA shows a net extension attributed to the employer risk events. So it uses actual programs because it reflects project actual status at the time of the delay. And then the fragment is inserted into contemporaneous update. Contractor delays already embedded in the schedule. This way measures only the incremental impact of the employer risk event, and it avoids any compensation for delays caused by the contractor. So we go for an example. So for example, in a TIA analysis, the baseline completion date was April 30. Program update before the was May 30. Three dates are there: April 30, May 30, and June 30. So what will be the extension of time with the time and cost? So baseline completion date is April 30. Updated program before fragment shows May 30. So pre-existing delay is 30 days of the contractor. Okay, and inserting fragment into contemporaneous update program completion is June 30. So 30 days extended. So TIA is 31 calendar days. So TIA result is a extension of time is 31 days only. Can be extended. So what is the cost? Costs are covered only for 31 days. TIA awarded not 30 days of the pre-existing contractor delay, but the recovery of the cost depends upon the meeting contract conditions. The event should be employer third party liable. It is an excusable compensable delay under the it should be excusable compensable the event under the contract. Proper notice was given in accordance to the contract. Timely notification of the claim. The contractor substantially completed with mitigation and took reasonable steps to reduce cost. There is no concurrency. That is, contractors on delays does not overlap and drive the same critical during the 31 days. If the concurrency exists, the cost entitlement can be reduced or denied. Contractor can provide actual provable additional costs. Labor, plan standing charges, site overheads, prolongation of subcontractors, etc. attributable to these 31 days. Any contract formula for prolongation and rates and overhead recovery must be applied. So if conditions are met, prolongation disruption cost claim should be calculated for 31 days only, not the 30 pre-existing days. If the contract requires granular proof, employer may pay only substantiated items like additional site costs, plan hire, extended home office error for those 31 days. So under TIA, we insert a fragment into contemporaneous update, measures the incremental delay, um, and the fragment moves to June 30. The T award is incremental 31 days cost recovery if the event is compensatable. It's limited to those only 31 days and requires proper notice and proof or attributable uh, attributable prolongation cost, and there is no concurrency within the contract delays. So it should the calendar or working days as per the contract. We use the calendar days above because of the FIDIC it is saying about calendar days only. Where the concurrency is complex, we need to actual schedule to show whether the fragment actually drove the critical path at that time. Always insist on contemporaneous records for cost claims, timesheets, plan logs, supplier invoice, etc. In the example, what will be the accepted completion date? Since 31 days are awarded as COT. EAT granted for 31 days. The accepted completion, contracted completion date will be original condition April 30. Add award EOT 31 days to May 31. New accepted completion date. Even the forecast finish after analysis June 30. Accepted completion date under the contract moves only to May 31. Period from June to June 30 remains under contractor's liability, non-excusable delay. Employer will not bear the time or cost for that overrun. Contractor may face liquidated damages, LDs for delay beyond 31st May unless other entitlement is proven. In case of the original completion of May 30 and TA shows us a 31 days excusable delay, the engineer will revise the contraction completion to May 31. Although the program now forecasts completion on June 30, the contractor can only protected under May 31. Any further delay beyond this contractor's risk and may attract liquidated damages. So what will be the EOT and accepted completion date if IAP used? Under this under IAP compares only baseline program and VS impacted completion. So EOT is 30 June minus April 30, that's 61 days. So the engineer would award 61 days EOT. Accepted completion date and there is original completion as add 61 days EOT. The accepted completion may June 30. Key difference: TA is contemporaneous and the IAP is baseline only. Means the accepted completion date is May 31. Forecast date finish beyond this is contractor risk. And in IAP, completion asset is June 30. EOT is May. EOT is 61 days, and contractor is fully excused until then. If the same example was assessed and repair, the engineer would compare the baseline of a completion of April 30 with the impacted completion date of June 30. This will give 61 days COT. Accepted that completion date will be revised to June 30. Unlike TIA,
IAP ignores the contractor's existing slippages, so the contractor get more relief. Why IAP use updated program before inserting and not the baseline? Poor IAP inserts delay fragments in the original baseline program only. It ignores what actually happened on the site after baseline. The result often inflates the entitlement because it does not count for contractor slippage. And that is why many experts criticize as a simple and a claim oriented, not a true forensic method. Time impact analysis inserts into the updated program that were current and where the delay occurred. It measures incremental effect on the delay, considering the progress and the contractor delays up to that date. Some engineers loosely use they use the IAP because in reality they insert fragments in the updated program which is actually closer to TIA. Arcadis reports the Avleri's example. It says in fact this plan is proposed but list January, February, March, and June updated programs to measure the impact. It is really hybrid practice, not pure IAP, not fully TIA either. IAP should use the baseline, not updates. If someone says they use IAP with an updated product, they are talking about a modified impact analysis, something called impacted updated program, which is closer to TIA in spirit. Strictly speaking, IA is based on baseline program. If insert into the updated program, it is not program pure IAP. It becomes closer to TIA. Some consultants call it IAP loosely, but best practice IAP is baseline only, and TIA is the contemporary update. As a comparison between IAP and TIA, the IAP program uses the original baseline, and the TIA is contemporary update at the date of the event. Fragments is inserted into the baseline, ignoring progress, while TIA, each fragment is inserted at the time of the occurrences. Treatment of contractor is ignored in IAP, but it is fully considered in TIA because it is embedded in the update concurrency netted off. Strength, it is very simple, quick to model, easy to present, but the recognized forensic method, fair balance used in disputes and arbitrations. Weakness, in the influence entitlement unrealistic if the project is already slipping. Because good contemporary updates, more time intensive. So what if a second excusable delay happened during the approval time of the first excusable delay? How will we update the program? If a second excusable event happens while the first is being processed, we can still do the TIA for the second event using the program that reflects the project status at the second day's event. That means the program must include an actual effect of the schedule of the first event, whether the as-built program or that is whatever the as-built program shows. If the first event's impact is not present in the contemporaneous update, we must reconstruct the status adjusted for that date, which usually means first representing the first event's actual effect, inserting the fragment, first fragment, and then inserting the second fragment and the second day event date. This rule, each fragment is inserted in the contemporary update for the event date, and earlier events must be present in that update, whether recorded then and reconstructed later with evidence. So finally, uh, when we insert each fragment in the contemporaneous update of the time of the event, CPM then recalculates a newer forecast date. Difference is the EOT days for that event. This process is repeated by event, each fragment separately in chronological order. The accepted completion date under this contract is original completion date plus the awarded EOTs, incremental additions. So in TIA, each fragment is inserted in the contemporaneous program on the day of the delay. The schedule is calculated and the incremental shift in the completion gives the EOT. This process is repeated for each event separately and awarded days are added to the original uh, contractor completion date to establish the revised completion date. So how window analysis is used in the P6? So in window analysis, what we are doing, we divide the total project duration into time windows like monthly, quarterly, etc. For each window, we freeze the program at it stood at the start of the window, compare the planned vs actual progress during that window, identify the critical path changes and the causes of the delay. Thus, we can see how critical path and the completion date evolved over time and which party causes the delay in each window. So, how it is differs from a TIA? Is it same? No. Window analysis are retrospective, while TIA is prospective. That is a timing. It predicts the impact when the event happens, while Windows analysis analyzes the actual history after completion. It is an updated program during the project, while the sequence of updates across the entire project. It is used for prospective EOT assessments, but the Windows is our forensic dispute analysis after impact. Inputs fragments inserted in contemporaneous updates, while Windows analysis compares actual vs planned in sequential windows. So how we are going to do Windows analysis in P6? Collect all the scheduled updates, define windows like a 1 month, usually 1 month or milestone based windows are there. Each window is the period between two scheduled updates: January, February, March, April, like that. So first programs use are for January baseline, February update number 1, February update number 1, March update number 2, March update number 2 to update number 3, etc. Open both updates in P6 and uh, compare that using scheduled comparison tool P6 V19 or later. We have this claim digger in the tools schedule comparison, compare two updates, output difference in activity days, durations, logic, float, total project finish, etc. This tells you what changed in the window. Identify the critical path shift, not the critical path and the completion variance between the updates. Identifies activities or events which cause the slippage like employer delay, contractor delay, neutral, etc. Quantify delay in that window. Delay for that window is change in the project completion between the updates plus 10 days. Attribute that delay based on the cost from the progress notes, RFIs corresponding, etc. Repeat for all windows. Do this for each pair of updates sequentially. You will get a timeline showing how the EOT entitlement evolved. So summarize the result: January, February 8, February, March 4, March, April 12, and April, May 3, like that. Responsible party: contractor, slow rebar fixing; employer, late FIFC drawings; employer, COVID-19 lockdown; contract recovery, neutral. So sum of the employer cost delays gives the total EOT. So in short, the claim digger or scheduled comparison tool, main engine for comparing two schedules. Activity notes, activity codes notebooks. Track each critical delay cause. Global change filters, group or isolate activities on critical paths. Layouts, use a layout showing total floater various finished columns. Progress spotlight, quickly visualize the plan via active progress during each windows. So Windows analysis means dividing the project into time windows, compare the baseline or previous update with the next update, and see how the completion date and the critical path shifted. In P6, we do this using the schedule comparison or claim digger tool for each update pair. The cumulative result, which shows which party caused the delay in each window and forms the basis of EOT entitlement. So, which conditions IAP is preferred over TAA during early stage of the project? Like if the project, the very little progress has occurred, like say 10 to 15%, that TA involves a lot of calculations, more contemporaneous updates and all. But we can still use baseline as the program where the delay fragment is inserted. So there is no significant contractor delays yet. Then we can use IAP because it is simple compared to TAA. Condition number 2, limited or poor quality updates available. So the second condition is that limited or poor quality updates available. In that case also we are using IAP because contractor has not been submitting for regular properly status updates, means not reliable contemporaneous programs. Then the engineer cannot perform TAA without factual update data. So IAP provides a reasonable approximation using baseline schedule. Monthly updates missing only baseline available. Engineer may use the IAP for simplicity. The condition 3 is a preliminary or early EOT claim without any prejudice review. During a live project, you can grant interim EOT using IAP pending a detailed TAA letter. Saves time for each cash flow or performance bond extensions. Example, COVID lockdown impacts immediate. Engineer issues interim EOT to protect parties, final TAA to follow after work resumes. The small isolated delays, non-complex logic. For example, for visible delays like material delivery of one activity is not affecting the multiple parts, full TAA may not be necessary. The IAP is sufficient to demonstrate likely impact. Example, 3 day shutdown for utility tie-in, minimal logic complexity, IAP acceptable. Cost time of analysis disappropriate. When the effort or cost of performing TAA outweighs the claim value or delay period, then the IAP offers a quick defensible engineering judgment. Small variations or instruction changes causing a 10 days delay, IAP prefer for practicability. When TAA becomes mandatory, if the consists on TNG, when TAA becomes mandatory, when the project has significant progress or deviations from the baseline, concurrent delays are there, a dispute or claim is likely to. നീ പോയിട്ട് അവിടെ പാല വെച്ചല്ലേ അമ്മയുടെ മൈൻഡിൽ അപ്പൊ ഔട്ട്സൈഡർ ആയി നീ പാല വെച്ചില്ലേ ഞാൻ പാല വെച്ചില്ല ഞാൻ ഡിസ്പ്ലേ നിനക്ക് സ്വത്ത് അല്ലെങ്കിലും തരൂല അമ്മ പാള വെച്ചിട്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് അമ്മ സസ്പീഷ്യസ് ആയി display dispute or claim is likely to reach formal review or arbitration. Like we said, it will come compulsory when it has project has significant progress deviations from the baseline. When this concurrent delays exist and disputes or claim is likely to reach the formal review of arbitration. And FIDIC subclause 8.4 to evaluation evoked and contemporaneous updates are available. This is The FIDIC process TA is compulsory. So IAP is preferred over TA when the project is still near baseline conditions. Updates are limited. Engineering could as prospective assessment. For example, early in the project, a small symbol delays or interim COVID type IoTs. It is faster, lesser data expensive. So this is preferred when this is still near the baseline conditions and the updates are limited, and in that condition we are using TA, IAP or TA. So why we used IAP? Because delays occurred mostly during COVID. Prog logic was nearly stable, like in the near baseline conditions, and contractor upsides were inconsistent. We need a contemporaneous substage for TA. Also, the TA and the AP and Windows are different logic and calculation. Back analysis. Contemporaneous data is used. Actual progress update is already embedded. Take the update from before event and give it to completion days. Baseline, finish A, insert fragment, the new completion date, finish B, EOT is B minus A. Example, April 30, May 30, June 30, EOT is June 30 minus May 30, 31 days, and because May 30 is a contemporaneous update completion date. Accepted completion date is April 30 plus 31 days is equal to May 31. Impact expand is a simple prospective which measures delay by inserting inertia to the original baseline condition and data only baseline and no contractor delay considered. So, example, baseline completion is April 30, inserted fragment is June 30. So, EOT is 61 days. Accepted completion in April 13 to June 30. Project completed on June 30, no contractor delay considered. In window analysis, concept is retrospective method used for instead of prospective method. Devise a position windows monthly or quarterly windows and measures each window by comparing the consecutive updates. Series of update progress across the project cycles as built progress and completion. Data used. Steps divided total windows. Each window compares start update finish end update finish. Calculate shift in the completion. Delay days. Attribute delay cost employer or contractor. Some employer delays gives a total EOT entitlement. For example, January to February 10 days shift employer. Later February to March 15 days contractor. March to April 20 days employer, and April 30 0 days. So total EOT is 10 plus 20 is equal to 30. Employer delays. Contractor delays is 15 days. So baseline completion is April 30. Revised completion EOT revised completion is May 30. Actual completion is 15 days contractor delay. 15th June. This is 30 plus 50. May 30, June 50. There's a comparative table is there. TIA, IAP, Windows, contemporary some update, baseline only, sequence of updates. Prospective, retrospective. Shift after fragments is infected. Shift from the weight to impact. Some of the employees days in each window. Example is 31 days for the IAP, 61 days, window is 30 days. Revised completion is May 31 and the TIA it is June 30. This May 30 is the revised completion, just like TIA. Notes reflects incremental delay beyond the contractor's page. Ignores contractor delays, more errors. Measures actual delays during the execution. So in IAP, we insert all fragments into the baseline. EOT equals the total shift from the base finish. Contractor delays are ignored. In TIA, we insert each fragment into the contemporaneous update. EOT equals incremental shift beyond the actual contractor delays. In Windows, we compare each update pair and sum the contractors across the windows. It is retrospective and reflects actual performance. That's why it's quick but approximate. TIA is accurate for the live projects and the Windows analysis is most defensible for completed ones. Now FIDIC clauses.